and it seems like it goes right out the window.
Brandon Staley telling his troops to stay out there and go for two. Looking to maybe throw for it here, Watson. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
If we had $1 for every time we heard a team talk about explosive plays and how valuable they are, we probably wouldn't have to work very much. And we just saw a big one there. And then they tried to go explosive again, going for two.
Yeah, is that a little too risky, you think? Just kick the extra point?
And you know, I'm all about getting points. And if I feel good about my kicker, I go ahead and do that. But with that ball at the 2-yard line, going for two, I think it's awfully tempting for teams nowadays.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be second down. So, Charles, you look at this offense. What a start to the season. 5 wins without a loss. When do you think that you start believing that maybe you're in the midst of something special?
Well, you and I both know every head coach never wants that thought to creep into a locker room. But the truth of the matter is, not quite at this time, because if we look at the Steelers in 2020, they're a great example. Remember, they started 11-0, then lost 5 of 6 and went out in the first round. But I think if you get toward mid-November, the Thanksgiving time frame, and you're still doing this, that's when things start to get real for a ball club.
That's into a crowd and intercepted. Grady Williams picks it off, and the Broncos are going to take possession of the football. So the penalty on the offense, no need to accept that. They'll decline it, and the interception will stand. Jet sweep to start the drive. Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on second down. Here's Watson. And caught by Cooper. Touchdown, Chargers. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Chargers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Not even 2 minutes into this football game, already we've had 2 scores.
You know how much I like to read about teams of old, right? The teams of yesteryear. There were some teams that were known as the point-a-minute teams. Well, obviously in a 60-minute game, that's 60-plus points. But 2 touchdowns in the first 2 minutes? My calculator doesn't operate that well.
And now on the other side, they better wake up. They haven't even gotten off the bus yet. That is caught. He's got it. And the lead will move to 14-0. So their second touchdown of this first half. They went for 2 after score number 1. Didn't get it. Now they get the equalizer, so to speak.
So to speak, and you can understand the thinking. Because they didn't get it after the first score, they wanted to get back to a normal points pattern, get up to 14. I just think if they missed it here, only up 12-0. 1 extra point on the other side can ultimately beat you if they score twice.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game? One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Well, this defense for the Chargers, they were very strong last week in that win over Cleveland.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury from having to write down all the turnovers this team forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely unbelievable. I hope he'll recover.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for. One of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And it's going to be batted down. It will go the other way with the football. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Chargers will get the football back in excellent field position. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Watson off play action. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Under pressure, they got him again. Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? They'll try to draw now with Chubb. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. It's a 7-yard run, but it does bring up 4th down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They'll run for it. Chubb. And this is going to come up well short as they stop him on 4th down. The 4th down play doesn't work for the Chargers. And the Broncos will take over on downs.
Partner, when you see a running play stop short like that, you just know that the defensive front, they won the battle of leverage and created the push back into the opposing backfield. And for the offensive coordinator, whether you had 1 yard to go or 20 yards to go on 4th down, now you're probably saying, oh, maybe I should have passed it, right? Yeah, hindsight is always 20/20.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Man open, it's J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed 1st down there. They've needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll set up to throw. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And he's brought to the ground with another 1st down at the Chargers' 37. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
Here's 2nd and 8. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And picked up by the Chargers. The 40, the 30, 10, 5. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. Always fun to watch a big boy pick it up and go. He may need a little oxygen on it. He may need a lot of oxygen on the sideline.
Not only that, how about you and me trying to balance ourselves up here, because you can feel the shaking all the way up to the booth. That big guy trying to get it to the house.
The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? 1st and goal. Following the fumble recovery, Watson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Partner, this is almost an unwinnable spot for a defense. They have to come right out for a 1st and goal, trying to stop them. But let me hold on a second. Let me take that back real quick. They can win here if they force a field goal try. Still a long ways away from that happening, but that has to be what they're thinking right now.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. To throw is Watson. And he whips that one incomplete there.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
Now they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. And they'll send the slot in motion left. Slot man moves right. From the 7 now, it's 3rd and goal. Now a give left side for Chubb. And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. On 4th down, Watson. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt, and the Broncos will take over on downs. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a 3rd situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off, and the Chargers are going to take possession of the football. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw, because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
After the interception, here's Watson. He's got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Chargers. 2 first-quarter touchdown passes now for Deshaun Watson. And the Chargers have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Brandon Staley telling his troops to stay out there and go for 2. They'll try and throw for it. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of 2-point tries and see what the data tells us, because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation. This time, unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they are trying to create some separation within the division. And look, CD, I know that this is still the first half of the season, but this is a big matchup no matter where it falls because these are the top two teams right now in that division.
And if you can build a bit of a cushion as you head towards the second part of the season, that allows you to survive the expected injuries, potential upset losses, all of those things, and still be in good shape.
And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Looking to throw. That's caught by Jackson. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Hands it off out of the gun. And he'll be close to a first down at the Chargers' 41. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on third down.
He had to fight for every yard on that run. Shook himself free of a tackle and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on it. That's the kind of effort you'll take every single time.
He gets it complete to Jackson. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. Touchdown, Broncos. Quez Watkins, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Broncos are able to cut into that deficit. Elliott good on the extra point, and that cuts this lead down to 13. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards. The Charger drive about to get going. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that. Charles' defense, they were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Chubb on the counter, and he is going to lose yardage here. Running for it, here's Chubb. And this doesn't end well at all as they stop him far behind the line to gain. A surprising move to go for it, predictably, at least somewhat predictably. It doesn't pay off, and that will force a turnover on downs. On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And able to get him down has reached the 5. Now they'll have it first and goal following that gain of 17.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver.
And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
The line of scrimmage, once again, the 5 as they get ready for second and goal. From the gun, they'll try to run it.
And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
And really, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
Disappointment to come out of this starting possession with just 3 points. They need to try to dial something up now. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. A great play there. His 12th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Broncos are back within a score. Elliott good with a PAT. And the lead will shrink to 6. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. As this offense gets ready here for this drive, Charles, you still wonder about that prior drive. Went for it on 4th down in their own territory, didn't get it, and then that led to a touchdown on the other side.
And I don't mind the aggressiveness. In fact, I'm usually a huge fan of it. But I just want teams to always weigh risk and reward. To me, too early in this game because the reward just wasn't big enough to go for it there in case they failed. Now the pressure back on their offense to pick themselves up and negate the touchdown that was just given up.
The Chargers on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd down and 12. Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. So a nice play defensively by the rookie, coming up with the INT.
And that's a late-round pick right there, making a first-round impact. And a lot of these day 3 corners, they end up winding up on special teams and sub-packages and even on the practice squad. But he's really made an impact on this defense, and he comes up with the interception there.
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. A great effort there with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game. And the Broncos strike quickly here to tie up the ball game. Elliott good on the extra point, and with it, his guys take the lead here by a point. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Charger drive about to get going. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ballgame.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth.
Yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
Here we go on fourth. Watson. He's going to rifle one deep left side. He's got him in. Complete. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. Now it's Watson. And this is incomplete. Oh, he had 6 points right in his hands, but could not hang on.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Seventh play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Watson. Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Poyer. And the Broncos are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line.
Those have been a problem for him all season, but never quite as much as they have in these last few minutes. Let's count it up now. A pair of picks on his team's last 2 drives and double-digit interceptions this season. I don't care if you're the best in the game or an undrafted rookie. You've got to take better care of the football or you're going to cost your team chances.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off. And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football. Well, this is just crazy. He's got 3 interceptions, Charles, and we haven't even departed the first half of this ballgame.
I think if you're looking at the stats right now, you're saying, all right, who's the leading receiver? Or can you flip it around and say that maybe he is? It could be for the game the way that things are going right now. I think if it's him, he wants to be on the field at all times.
They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Here's Chubb on the read option. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. So they've been unable to capitalize on a great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. Off-tackle run here for Nick Chubb. And he's going to come up well short as they rally up to stop him at about the 16. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. They will indeed snap it to Watson. And it's going to be batted down, and we'll go the other way with the football. The 4th down play doesn't work for the Chargers, and the Broncos will take over on downs.
No surprise, they try to throw the ball on 4th down, but it gets batted down. They don't pick it up.
A little football 101. When you're going toward that quarterback, you see he's going to start to throw. Get your hands up,
right? Get your hands up, affect the play, and then everyone get your hands up. When the ball gets to the receiver, moment of truth, knock it away.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
The good signal calls will never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll set up a throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They forced incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. This time they stay on the ground. And he'll only get this to the 17, well shy of what he needed. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought up a punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
Broncos take over first and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, there were 3 talking points at the half, partner. All of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And now 1 yard to go on 3rd down. They're going to look to throw. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. try and throw. Got his man. It's Arcega-Whiteside. And he is going to have a Broncos first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. Defensively, a bit of a collapse, allowing the fourth down play to result in 23 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll look to throw here. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. To the outside, this is complete to Jackson. And that's good for a gain of 6. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That's going to be caught. Arcega-Whiteside. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
They find some open field here. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. It's a gain of 34. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And despite the fancy footwork we saw, they'll get to him just inside the 15. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Back to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And picked up by the Chargers. Taking it right down Broadway. 30, past the 20. And he takes it back to the house. It's a fumble recovery and a Charger touchdown. So a big turn of events there. This defense makes the play. They return it for the score, and now they have the lead.
So much for ball security for the offense. Playing with a lead in the second half. They give the ball up, and all of a sudden they're behind.
Big-time fumble. Following the fumble recovery, Watson. And that's caught at the 2. And he is not going to make it to the goal line. So the defense holds, and this remains a 5-point game. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they have done themselves absolutely no favors to earn a win today in this one, Charles. The turnover woes continue. On that last drive, they had that fumble that led to a touchdown.
Brandon, I would say they have a mission on this drive, and the bottom line is protect the football. Just put together something that they can let the last drive go. Yeah, it was a bad play. They gave up points, but that doesn't mean it has to go that way the rest of this ball game. Do what you do best on offense and try to put the ball in the end zone yourself.
And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. 3 yards is the pickup, but it leaves them still needing 11 here on third down.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. On third down, he'll drop to throw. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception.
And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football. Boy, Charles, you hate to see this for a rookie quarterback. You're hoping it doesn't shake his confidence, but that confidence, it might be shaken because that is 4 interceptions for him now in this ballgame.
It has to be shaken. Wouldn't be human if you weren't. Doesn't matter whether you're a rookie or a veteran. 4 interceptions, you're not sure what you're doing out there. So to me as a coaching staff, I would think very hard about getting him out and trying it again another day.
And he's going to take this down to about the 17. They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. Now Watson. That's going to be caught. Touchdown, Chargers. Amari Cooper. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far.
And the Chargers will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. Brandon Staley telling his troops to stay out there and go for 2. Looking to maybe throw for it here, Watson.
That's caught. And he will dive into the end zone, and the 2-point conversion is successful. And they're able to ground it in there on the 2-point try. And you and I were talking before the game. The 2-point conversions from the 15-16 season, what has changed, what hasn't changed, partner?
Yeah, I'll tell you what's changed is just your normal strategy, because now you're either kicking the football with the ball on the 15-yard line, or if you decide to go for 2, they put it on the 2-yard line. So what are you thinking as a coach? Do I risk it? Do I go for it here? Do I try and gain a strategic advantage and maybe go for 2 early? That's what people are wondering about.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down.
And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be 2nd down. Safety Grant Delpit up to make the play.
Brings up 2nd and 8.
1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34.
85 yards rushing for him now as his fine rookie season continues.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes, and half linebacker that makes tackles.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Denzel Ward.
And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football.
And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
But based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another
touchdown, LA! Amari Cooper, 35 yards.
And the Chargers are looking to run it to 5-1 on the season as they add to their 4th quarter lead.
They'll look to throw. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off.
Well, this is going to be returned from middle of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. That 5-game win streak is ticking away here in the fourth quarter. Just haven't been as sharp in this one. And now here's another interception. And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football. The rookie was trying to push it downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. And that is incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit too.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. Here's Watson. Touchdown! David Njoku, his first touchdown on the year. And the Chargers are about to make it 4 straight as they add to this fourth quarter advantage. And you wonder now if he might be able to remove the helmet, put on the baseball cap, and watch the rest of this one from the sideline. His 5th touchdown pass of the game.
Say that again. Did you say 5th touchdown pass of the game?
Yes, sir.
Boy, that's a heck of a performance, isn't it? Because they've had no answer for him at all game long. Receivers have been open constantly, and he hasn't missed a single one of them.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a 1st down. They'll set up to throw.
And boy, another ill-advised throw there as that will wind up incomplete.
This has obviously been a bad loss, but one of the few things they can still do is try and throw the ball all the way to the end zone and get some points on the board so they're not shut out over the final 2 quarters of this game.
to throw again. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Rookie quarterback, rookie running back. They team up there to pick up the first.
With this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
But we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants this lead to stay right where it is.
They'll look to throw again.
This will be caught. It's Arcega Whiteside. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
That incompletion brings us one snap closer to the end of this one. Maybe mercifully, partner. And let's face it, though, no surprise, they're still flinging it around. They have pride, too.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Over the middle here to Brown.
And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
On third down, they're going to go with the option.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Taking it in from 11 yards out.
And the Broncos get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit.
His kick is good.
Elliott good with a PAT. And the lead now down to 20.
Broncos 28.
So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And I think the Broncos have it. They do. Great job by the kick team there to get the football, but also don't forget about the man that started it, the lonesome kicker himself.
I love that you brought him into it because he doesn't get nearly the attention he deserves. Oftentimes it's only when it's negative. In this case, he created a positive play for his team.
The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive.
Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
And some room to roll now. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Again, that's Watkins. Touchdown, Broncos.
Quez Watkins
with his second touchdown of the night.
And the Broncos have got it back to a 2-score game here in the fourth.
Elliott good on the extra point, and that cuts this lead down to 13.
Broncos 35.
2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And they've got it. They recovered it. But hang on now, though. There's a penalty flag down.
Well, CD, you understand. I mean, they're so eager trying to get back in this game here in the fourth quarter, but they touched that one a little too early before it went 10 yards.
Brandon, in such a high-stakes scenario, everyone's feeling the pressure on this play. The special teams coordinator, which one is he going to pick in terms of kicks? Can the kicker execute it? Can the team wait for 10 yards? So many variables, and in this case, they didn't get it done.
Now a timeout coming in here defensively as they stop it before the 2-minute warning with 2:09 to go in the game.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Second down, here's Chubb again.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Nick Chubb, his second touchdown of the night.
And the Chargers tack on another score as they have dominated this fourth quarter.
They'll try and throw for it. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the fourth. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way home for a Broncos score.
Quez Watkins,
75 yards.
and the Broncos get a bit closer.
And now once again, they'll line up to go for 2.
Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here.
And he's going to go down right at the line of scrimmage. The defense left him with nowhere to go, and the try for 2 is denied. And this will not work out. The Chargers able to recover. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. With that last effort, he topples the 5,000-yard mark for his career.
And that doesn't place you among the absolute greats that have ever played the game, but it's a significant achievement and a very, very solid career.
They run the option here on 1st and 10.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Got to figure the rush is going to be fierce again as they come up 2nd and 13. And Watson's going to throw it here. He completes it to Beckham. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They'll run with Chubb. A good display of power, but it will only get him just inside the 5 to the 4. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. They'll try again with Chubb. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
From the 8, it's 3rd and goal.
And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Nick Chubb, an 8-yard touchdown run.
And the Chargers have put this one to bed here in the 4th quarter.
The gun, Watson to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
They attempted to fade to the back corner of the end zone unsuccessfully. And I've been with you long enough, Brandon. I know it's not one of your favorite calls.
Well, it's interesting. Before working with you, I always viewed that as you're just taking away space and you're trapping yourself in a corner. But you actually have told me they're trying to create space where space is not.
Yeah, it's really it's a weird deal, isn't it? But you've got to just move that defender inside to create that separation and that little bit of space where there just isn't much.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Looking to throw.
He's going to drop this down to Sanders.
And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. That's over the middle and caught by Arcega-Whiteside.
There we go, start.
And he'll indeed get him to the line and spike it here to stop the clock.
Let's go now. Hurt. Right there, hurt.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. Throwing quickly. That's caught by Brown out wide. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.